Would you believe sourdough bread, 2 ingredients, less than an hour? We're going to do that today. Here they are, our 2 ingredients, and that's all it's going to take for a great sourdough bread. Self-rising flour, sourdough discard. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is measure out my flour, and I'm going to measure 3 cups. And remember, stir your flour up so it's light and fluffy and not packed down. I'm doing this over a bowl because I want to be able to level it off easily without making too much of a mess. Oh, y'all, this is incredibly easy and it's so good. Does it taste like sourdough? Yes. Does it have the same texture? Not really, but it is still delicious, warm with a little butter, and it makes great toast. Okay, and that's 3 cups of self-rising flour right in our bowl. And move on to the next step, which is adding our sourdough starter. With a 2 ingredient dough, it goes together fast, it goes in the oven fast. So what you want to do is get that oven preheating before you do anything else. And I'm going to put my sourdough discard right in here with my self-rising flour and just stir that up. Some sourdough discards are more liquid than others, even from time to time. Some will be more liquid, some will be less liquid. So you're going to do the same thing as with the 2 ingredient bread recipe, in that you're going to push that sourdough starter right into the flour, but you're going to, at the end, if it's still not moist enough to hold together into a ball, then you're going to start adding a little bit of water. And you want to do that like a tablespoon at a time. I find that this helps if I just get my fingers in there. You get your fingers in there, you can feel the dough, you can feel if it's too dry, which this actually is, and I expected it to be because that starter was pretty dry. So I'm going to put in a little bit of water at a time until the dough is the texture I want. So I'm going to just sprinkle 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, so about 3 tablespoons of water, and that gives us a really firm, nice dough. It's not too sticky. We're going to knead it just a little bit. My oven is now reached the proper temperature. And if it looks like it's cracking, see how this is cracking around the sides? And if you think it might be too dry, if it might have places that are too dry, don't be afraid to sprinkle a little bit more water in there. With bread, whether it's yeast bread or regular or quick bread, a lot of times it's mainly about the texture of the dough. And that's something you really only can get from experience. Now I'm just going to score the dough, and I'm just going to do a simple cross. I've had my ceramic cloche bottom, not the whole cloche, that I use for sourdough, in the oven heating while it was preheating, so that when I put the bread on it, it's going to get good and hot and crispy on the bottom. Some people, excuse me, some people tell you to let the dough rest for 30 minutes to 2 hours for this type, even this type of sourdough bread. But I don't usually do that. First of all, I usually don't have that kind of time. So I'm just going to put it right on there. And I'm going to bake it at 425 for 35 to 40 minutes. But I'm going to check it at the 30-minute mark just in case. I will be back and I'll see y'all then. Well, y'all, I may have been a little enthusiastic about my slashing, but this bread smells great. So I just got it out of the oven, and we're going to want it to cool off a little bit before we try to cut into it. But I'm going to go ahead and, put some butter on it now, because it'll make it pretty and it'll make the crust look better and it'll taste really, really good. So when I realized that I had over slashed it, I kind of thought about making another loaf so that it would be pretty, but we're real around here. Not everything comes out pretty. Even on the blog, I use my best pictures and I set those up. But when I'm here on video, you're in my kitchen, and it's just like we're sitting here having coffee and talking and about to eat dinner. So you kind of have to take what you get here. All right, so our bread has got the butter on it. and we're gonna let that soak for a little bit. We're gonna let it cool off for a little bit, and then I'll be back to cut it, and we'll see what we have, okay? See you then. This is what it looks like cut into. I probably could have let it cool for a little bit longer, but I didn't. So I went ahead, since I had over slashed it, like the enthusiastic baker I am, I went ahead and cut it in fourths across by the slashes to make it easier to cut. This is incredible. So good. And soft. It's got that little bit of that sourdough tang to it. It's perfect for soups and stews and all the things. So I hope you'll try it. I think you're going to get as obsessed with 2-ingredient bread as I am. We'll see. But I hope you try it. I hope you'll love it. I hope you come back next week, okay? I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.